Okay, so happy Sunday. So we're doing campaign stuff with Gimpy the Demonslayer. Demon. We are currently 7 days, 5 hours, and 14 minutes into this playthrough. How many hours is that? It's a lot. This is my third playthrough. First playthrough was as a Lich. It was an Oracle, Hell Knight Signifier, Damphir Lich. Second playthrough was a half-elf Arcanist, some double-blooded sorcerer, I think it was. You did a one-level dip for that. And that was Azada / Gold Dragon. And now we're doing the half-orc Demonslayer stuff, which is a ranger archetype. Okay, so cast of characters. I guess we should look at these guys, huh? I forget where I left off. I forget what I was doing, but anyway, we are level 19. So again, we're near the end of chapter or Act 5. Gimpy, of course, is a half-orc, chaotic evil, demon, Demonslayer stuff. Hey, Ring, welcome back. Next, we need to do 2 runs in tandem. Trickster alongside Angel. No. Welcome back. Anyway, so weapon of choice for Gimpy is the Orc Double Axe, which is a 2-handed weapon, acting like a 2 one-handed weapons, so he ends up getting 7 swings out of that thing. That does a little bit of damage. He's kind of weak too at 45 strength. He does have a pet dog, aka a wolf, that uses as a mount. That's the Luguru, the big bad wolf. Again, he uses that as his mount, so he doesn't really care so much about his armor class. That's what the dogs show up as, being at 43 currently. I don't know if he's even really buffed. But anyway, so that's Gimpy and his dog, or wolf. Main character. And then we have 3 mercenary characters. Why? Because we can. We got Rocket, a Kitsune Sohei, which is a mounted monk. And as a feature of that class, he gets to choose certain weapons to be his primary weapons that act like monk weapons, meaning that he gets as many swings with the weapon as he would if he was just swinging his fist. So normally 6 punches with the fist, 6 attacks with a glaive, or 6 attacks with a longbow. Those are his weapons of choice. Mepis. Can you use a moisturizer for Gimpy? It's a demon. They kind of like the warmth a little bit, I think. Oh, I didn't even notice his little axe was spiky. Why is it spiky? Because it's a screaming reaper. Oh, it's vicious, so it does extra damage. Whenever it lands a killing blow, all enemies in a 15-foot area suffer 46 sonic damage and become frightened for 1 round. Dun, dun, dun. So, it's awful. It's very spiky. It's definitely. It's not pretty, that's for sure. It's not pretty. Anyway. So Rocket is like I said, a Sohei. His mount of choice, of course, is a horse, aka Scout, who is the main tank of the group. Oh, she's at 43. Oh, sorry, she's at 43 AC, so not too bad. Anyway, so that's Rocket, and then we have Mickey, the Battle Singer, which is a Skald. His main job is to sing songs, buff the group, do a little bit of damage here and there, that kind of stuff. Very satisfied with the Battle Singer so far. It was kind of questionable going in to see what it was actually going to do, but in reality it's worked out really well. And Veronica, half-orc Seeker, which is an Oracle archetype. She is primarily our healer and buffer. She can do some damage because she's got the lightning bracers going on, so all her energy is converted over to electricity, and of course she went the mythic route where you can't, resist it, so she can't do damage when she needs to. This staff is the Fiery Spellweaver. It's +5. Flaming Burst Quarterstaff grants its wearer a +1 bonus to caster level, +4 bonus on checks made to overcome spell resistance, and +15 competence bonus on use magic devices skill checks. So it's a nice little thing for her. It doesn't, although they say it's a fiery thing, but it's just kind of like doing the black aura thing. Shouldn't it be on fire, you would think? Fiery Spellweaver. I would think that would be on fire, not so much the black stuff coming off of it. Blackfire, I guess? I don't know. I don't know. You would think it would be more fiery. Anyway, so that's the end of the mercenaries. Last 2 spots are... Oh, and also Veronica does have a pet wolf as well. We got Bob, the wolf, and his main job... He's not a mount, though. He just runs around and chews on stuff, usually alongside Lou, because they have feats to make them better at tripping people and that kind of fun stuff. So they kind of work together. Try to, at least. So anyway, that's Veronica's pet, because she is a nature oracle, technically. Well, nature and life now. Okay, so Wenduag. So we have 2 spots left over for story characters. In this playthrough, it's been mainly Wenduag and Nenio. Why those 2? Because in the first 2 runs I did, they got very little time. And so we figured, yeah, we'll see what happens. And it's been entertaining. Wenduag is actually Gimpy's love interest. Nenio is her normal psychotic self. Wenduag is doing the specialization with short bows, which has worked out pretty well too. She gets 6 attacks with that thing now, because it is a haste bow, right? Yes, it's a speed bow, so she gets an extra attack with that. You can turn off the visuals for those horrible goggles now. But they're not horrible. Those are cool looking. And as you didn't know, Wenduag actually has a mohawk. Apparently that was surprising to some people because they never turned off the head stuff. Why did we? I don't remember. Oh, so this is different. I haven't looked at this since they changed. Oh, that's why we turned it off. That's why we turned it off. Okay. So, anyway, that's Wenduag. And then Nenio, again, she is still her Scroll Savant, which is a wizard archetype. But we also made her a Lore Master, which is Prestige class, which I've not really been... I mean, she gets all kinds of bonuses to her skills. Like her knowledge skills and her lore stuff get bonuses of +5, which is a nice buff. I mean, that's what, 25% higher than normal. Well, I don't, and maybe not higher than normal, but you know, it gets her skills up nice and high, which is nice. But as far as that, it doesn't really do that much. The helmet, yeah, I didn't like the look of the helmet though. But anyway, Nenio. So Nenio's role is to kill people primarily. Learn spells every now and then from scrolls, which I haven't done in a little bit, I don't think. Come on, scrolls. So what's that? Baleful Palm. Oh, she didn't have that already, huh? Dun -dun. Chain Lightning too. Although that's not going to work too well for her. Look at all the scrolls. Power Word Kill. That's a worthless one. Polar Ray. Smoke Protection Ray. She didn't have that, huh? We have a lot of scrolls that we never use. That we probably should. Especially with the Scroll Savant, right? Ways of Exhaustion. Oof. Okay, so there's that. So, anyway, Nenio. Oh, and again, her main deal is to hopefully kill people with Phantasmal Killer. Is her main spell for killing people. It works pretty well. She's got different versions of it. She's got the base level 4. Got level 5 that's got heightened, so it just makes it a little bit higher level to make it harder to resist slightly. Then we got the Phantasmal Killer at level 6, which is persistent, meaning that whoever she casts it on has to roll twice, and they take the lowest roll to determine whether they save or not. Then this one is persistent and heightened to make it a level 7 spell. And then this one is another heightened to make it level 8 and also persistent. What else? Got Phantasmal Putrefaction, which we don't use too often. And then at the very end here, we've got, where is it? It's the purple one. So weird. This is basically this is basically Phantasmal Killer Fireball style. So area effect kills all the bad guys within 30-foot burst. So it's basically a fireball with, you know, makes you die faster. if they fail their saves. Very effective stuff. It's been working pretty well. She also got to wear light armor and cast it. And the thing is about the light armor stuff is, I mean, this is light armor, but this didn't matter anyway. The Haramaki it doesn't have any penalty. I mean, she could have taken a feat to get it. I mean, it's not that huge of a deal. Right. It's because most of the light armor didn't really help her. So, I mean, for what we were doing with her, I didn't really find any light armor that was really going to help her do her thing. One piece that helped her. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Waiting. Ascending order. So, this is all shirts and stuff. See, this isn't technically armor. This is all armor stuff.
Hello everyone. My name is Veronica and welcome to Gimpy's Twitch channel. If you are enjoying what you are watching, please click the follow button in the lower right corner of the video screen. That way you will be notified by Twitch when Gimpy goes live. You can also follow Gimpy over on Twitter at GimpyNi. He tweets out there when he goes live and will more than likely follow you back. Thank you for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching. Happy Sunday. So again, nothing special here. At least that I have in my inventory. So again, it's just, yeah. There's been an end encounter button sheet before. Well, yeah, because if it hits everybody, it can get everything in 30 feet together. It's like, oh, fight's over. That's that. Anyway, that's our group. And as far as our army goes, we've got a bunch of stuff. Oh, that's right. Here. Moving these guys back to where they're going. These guys are supposed to be going. Oh, okay. So they're going back to the demon army. So watch them go that way. So as a demon, we actually get to recruit demons to fight for us against other demons. We got a Baylor coming down to our main army. Sorry, and by Baylor I mean Baylors. We've got 5 of them in that group coming down. They're only a level 7 army, just the 5 of them. Oh, and this is our Vescavers and other guy. This is our 3rd army with the Retrievers and stuff. Actually, this is technically our 2nd army at level 9. They're the backup guys. Actually, no, they're the 3rd army, because our demon army is actually our 2nd army. These guys are reinforcements. You can dismiss units. Only took them forever to... but why would you want to dismiss them? This is our 4th army. With a collection of different stuff. Nothing special, again. No reason really to have them. And this is technically our 2nd army. Even though they're level 8, but it's a demon. It's a army of demons, and once the Baylor came over here, it probably should be close to level 10, if not level 10. Led by a dwarf. But again, we're going to have Alabascus, Brimarax, the Bows, Shears, Dretch, and then the Baylor coming in. Oh, sorry, no, the Baylor's not coming up here. The Vrock are coming up here. The Baylors were in this army, but they don't need to be. So that's them. They're just sitting at this particular spot because this, when invasion armies come in, they usually go after this spot, and it's better than having to move people out from Dresden. And we can summon their reinforcements once a week. We've got 16 hours before we summon our next batch of crappy demons. Coming soon. Okay, so there's that. And then our main army. And there's no one really to kill anymore. We killed them all. We have no demon armies wandering around. Or sitting in spots, not moving around. So where are they going? I think we're just going back to... Yeah, that's right. We're just going to sit here from now on. Because again, invasion armies either come out through here or they come out from down there. Or from over here. So this is here and wait. This army is led by a level... What level is she? 19, 20, somewhere around there. I don't know. I don't know if she's that high, actually. How do you tell? She is level 20, so she's maxed out. She's a spellcaster. She's got the Spell of Doom, which is the as long as you're not undead, channel negative energy will kill you. And she gets to cast it twice each fight, so most things don't survive the second cast. Then we have Battle Slaves. These are guys that are little, basically they're halflings. They're kind of we have Paladins mixed in with Hell Knights. Come on. And of course, Fallen Knights. So we have 3 pretty decent cavalry units all working together. Hell Knights, or the Fallen Knights, cause fear when they hit stuff. Hell Knights are just Hell Knights, and then Paladins are, Paladins. And then, of course, they're all backed up by the Marksman, and of course, then soon we'll have the Baylor to take the spot of the Rock that had been with the army for a little while. For quite a while, actually. So, anyway, there's our army stuff. Gimpy and friends, we've done the Heart of Mystery. So, today we'll be working on our More Than Nothing. This is for Nenio stuff. So basically what we have to do is go around and solve a bunch of puzzles. They're basically domino puzzles. I think we can do all but one, because one of the puzzles has pieces that come from the intellectual prison, which we haven't done yet. So which one is the one that needs that one, though? Because we've done the Forgotten Secrets, right? Solve 4 puzzles. I think that's the one we just did. Visits location on Wheel Day, 21 of Dona. So that would be today, it looks like. So wait a minute, how did... Oh, because we took the portal back here. That's why. So the Heart of Mystery, I don't think we can do yet. Like I say, the Ancients, this is the one we're doing next, I believe. So we'll get to marching. Can you get up there? No problem. Only take a day. Actually, does it tell you how many puzzles you've completed here? End game, pursue the past, no. Secrets of Creation, there we go. So like I say, the Ancients and the Final Veil, and then stuff. So I think we can do Legacy of the Ancients, but the Final Veil is the one that we can't do yet until we go to the dungeon. So anyway, oh look, it's a random encounter, and we are not buffed. Well, at least we're not tired. Hopefully they don't put us too close to them so we can actually get some spells off for buffing. Come back this way and then start the buffing. So that's happening. Later on today, we'll be taking a sneak peek at the new DLC coming out for Solasta. I believe it's either tomorrow or Tuesday, where they're adding a new ancestry/race, the Dragonborn, and along with 3 classes, the Bard, Monk, and Warlock. And in about a few hours, we'll be moving over to that and taking a look at basically the classes, leveling them up so we can see what kind of abilities they get as they level up and that kind of stuff. There's 4 archetypes per class. If you have all the DLCs, I think you need the Lost Valley DLC in order to get all 4 archetypes. If you don't have that, I think you only get 3 for the new class. Well, actually for any of the classes. But anyway, we'll be taking a look at that here in a couple hours. We won't be playing it so much as, again, we're just going to be building characters just to look at them. Almost done. All set? All set. No, we're not done. Oh, she's still casting. Now she's done. So, Rockeye, whatever, and Devastator. So Devastator needs to die first.
I am yours to command.
No time for debates.
Oh, Windu, get it. No? Almost? Fine. Rocket. Kill him first. Hate the friggin' bugs. Oh yeah, and he does the scared thing after he's done. It's not fear, it's just shaken. So they don't run away. And then Veronica. Bracers on. Yeah. Okay, Bob. Go get him, Bob. Forgot to charge. Bismuth. Oh yeah, Bismuth. We always forget about Bismuth. We still have Bismuth running around. Bismuth belongs to Mickey. Speaking of... We don't really need to do the song. Oh, not battle song. Rage song. Summoned Shadow Demon, Nenio. So, this guy, I don't think he can use the
Mind over muscle.
Phantasmal Killer on him, right? Yeah, he's immune to death, so it won't work on him. Magic Missiles work though. Not this round.
Saturday and Sunday, November 19th and 20 are the monthly giveaways for November. A $25 Steam gift card will be given away each day. You have to be a follower of the channel and present to win. Check with Gimpy if you have any questions about the giveaway. Thanks for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching again. Giveaways are next weekend already. Oh, it's easy to fight. Got our buffs done at least. Go all the way down there to get out? That doesn't seem right. That's not that far. So again, level 19, so a lot of this stuff is kind of wimpy at this point. But we like it that way. Hey, Draken, welcome back. Okay, continue on. I got something to have back at Dresden. Skilled Craftsman is done with the relic, so the Zoras's pen. Chanting. I hate that there's so many steps to this. So, the headband grants the wearer +6.5 bonus charisma and intelligence ability scores. In addition, all party members of the wearer gain a +3 insight bonus on saving throws against confusion, insanity, and domination spells. That says all party members. It doesn't sound like there's a range limitation. Priestess of Nocticula. So, +6.5 bonus to charisma and wisdom. In addition, the wearer of all their allies in Deathwood era gain the effects of the Shielded Caster, Allied Spellcaster, and Shield Wall feats. Oh, interesting. Charisma and Wisdom. Veronica is Charisma. We don't have a Wisdom caster, technically. Because Nenio is Intelligence. Wenduak, no. Mickey is Charisma, but his hat is a healing hat too, so we don't worry about that one. Rocket does get a wisdom thing. Gimpy might too. So anyway, it looks like this one might be the best. The allied spellcasters, but we only actually we do have spellcasters, don't we? Yes, Veronica is a Oracle. Hey, Valasar, welcome back. It's the feats there. Shielded Caster, Allied Spellcaster, and Shield Wall. I don't know what those do exactly. We'll find out. Neutral the Brother Blood has awakened the dormant power with their cursed blood. The pin's magic, much like in the days of past, will cloud the minds of enemies and inspire allies. Chanting the Face Stealer's Mask. Fate of the Voice of the Cursed... What? Fate of the Voice of the Cursed Bard. I don't know what that is. Royal Parade. Chanting Phylactery. All this stuff. Blessing of Bastet. Don't care about this stuff. The mask. I remember taking the mask last week, so we're going to figure that out. They're not amazing per se, but they're not bad. What, the hats? Yeah, they're pretty decent, it look like. I mean, again, not of me. Oh, the feats? I don't even remember what those feats actually do. So anyway, Veronica, her hat is just mental perfection. So it doesn't matter to her because she doesn't care about intelligence, really. They are Shielded Caster, Allied Spellcaster, and Shield Wall feats. Now, in theory, we should be able to see those now, right? So there we go. So Shielded Caster. Blah, blah, blah. Whenever you are adjacent to an ally who also has this feat, you receive a +4 confidence bonus on concentration checks. If your ally is wielding a buckler or a light shield, this increases by 1. If they're wielding a heavy shield or a tower shield, the bonus is increased by 2. We don't have any shield people. Allied Caster. You are skilled at piercing the protection of other creatures with your spells. Whenever you are adjacent to an ally who also has this feat, you receive a +2 bonus to concentration checks and level checks made to overcome spell resistance. So that's a thing. That will help. And then Shield Wall. You're adjacent to an ally wielding a shield who also has this feat. The AC bonus from your shield increases depending on the shield wielded by your ally. If your ally is wielding a buckler or a light shield, your bonus is +1. That's just AC bonus. Blah. So these are But Mickey, he's the only one that'd be standing next to him more than likely. He does have a buckler. He just won't be using his bow if he does that. So again, not great, but... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there it is. This isn't here. I thought as everybody in the party gets it. Or is it not kicking in right now because of... We're not technically standing next to each other right now. Additional wear and all their allies. Oh, they have to be within 10 feet. Okay, so. Yeah, we have to keep them close. Yes, the best of the stuff will help. The best of the feats here. Which one was it? The Allied Spellcaster. This will help Nanio land her Phantasmal Killers. It'll help Mickey land his spells as well, because he does some the laughter songs or laughter spells and that kind of stuff. He does enchantment type stuff too, so it'll help him, and it'll help Veronica land some damage spells. So, or whatever spell she's doing too. 2 saves on that one. Some of them. She does, and then not every one of the Phantasmal Killers is a persistent spell. Only the ones starting at level 6, I think. Yeah, this is the first one. So all the level 6 and higher ones are all persistent. Those are the ones they got to save twice, or take the lesser of the 2 rolls. So yeah, and that will help with those. Because not only are they higher level spells, but now they're going to be, as long as she's standing next to Veronica, you know, it'll be 2 levels higher basically. So yeah, that's going to help. because this is already difficulty class 30, so they'll bump it up to 32. So just that much harder. 10% basically increase in stuff, roughly. Okay, so that's done. Continue on. Do they have to be a spellcaster? Well, yeah. Yeah, as long, well, this, what it actually says, does it say, it actually says spellcaster, doesn't it? No, that's right, it's not her, it's Veronica, that's that one. Allied spellcaster. Features your spells. Whenever you are adjacent to an ally who also has this feat. Oh, so basically any ally who has the feat. It's not a spellcaster specifically. So anyone who's within 10 feet is gonna have it. Right? Whenever you are adjacent to an ally. So that means they have to be standing next to each other, or within 10 feet. That's usually what that means. Yeah, it gives everyone the feat, but they still have to be within 10 feet, though. It's not just... Everybody gets access to the feat, but they still have to have all the requirements for it. Like, they have to be close. Yeah, the other two actually require shields. Shield Wall and Shielded Caster both require shields in order to work. That's an AC bonus, and this one is a competence bonus on concentration. So, but again, both of those require shields. Which Mickey does have. He's got a buckler. Will he use it? I don't know. We'll see. Yes, this cluster up, nothing bad will happen. Ever. Okay, so Legacy of the Ancients. I need to look up this puzzle. Just a second. What was it? Legacy of the Ancients. Oh, these images, so horrible. Okay, just getting the image nice and situated here. Oops.
You say oops quite often. Do you need assistance?
Concentration bonuses for defense casted in this game really feel useful. It matters when you're getting your head kicked in, but that doesn't happen too terribly often either. If you're doing it right, your spellcasters aren't getting beat up on. We need to camp first. Everybody's moved. That matters. No. So, Mr. Rock, get going. So the Rock's heading over to the demon army up in the northern part of the little kingdom there, or the world wound, and he's moving down to... Oh, we got reinforcements to do. Okay, that would be this army. Okay, so this little ability is going to add random crappy demons to the army. We could move one of the groups out and get those specifically, but we honestly don't care. And I wish they would tell you how many you actually got, but they don't do that for whatever reason. I don't like that they took out all the detail information for armies out. That sucks. Just want to be clear. Okay, so you're that. You guys don't move. You're moving too. This is the reinforcements for our main army. Actually, they're going to meet up here with the main army because the main army's got no one else to kill. So there we go. So 600 marksmen, 275 fallen knights, and you are not Sisters of the Golden Irons. What are you guys doing here? What are you guys doing here? Oh, they're going to be replacing the halflings. Because they got 592 hit points each. So they're taking their place. Because that's what? 5,922 hit points. These guys are at... have to be 100? Over 100 to match the hit points? So, we're sticking with these guys. The sisters. What do the sisters do? Again, they're lawful evil, so they're devils, right? Yeah, Irenes are devil. Damage reduction 3, exception to that stuff. Unarmed strike, so okay, damage. Shield wall stuff. Female monks from Isgir who worship Asmodeus, all of them are orphaned during the wars, so not technically devils. Fighting style known as Haramaratu, whatever is inspired by the tactics of the barbed devils, guardians of hell. So, those people. That's a level 6 army, just 72 of them. The battle slaves have not been impressive. They got a nice little effect if they kill something, get an extra move, but not super effective. And they're too rare because they're mercenaries, so you don't see them that much for hire. Especially once you get enough of mercenaries to hire, it sucks. There's just not enough of them for them to be really effective later in the game. I mean, when you first get them, they're okay, but at this point in the game, they don't really serve a purpose because they're too slow. They have no range attack, so again. And you moved, and you guys are just going to be sitting there defending anyway. So, all set. Okay, we are resting now, correct? Yes. And dead dragons to be useless for that same reason. If you get enough of them, though. The undead dragons are useful if you can get enough of them. The tricky part is getting enough of them. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is most dragons are actually like that too. A lot of dragons are fairly weak in low numbers higher in the game. Because I ran into the same problem with the gold dragon. Because as a gold dragon, you actually get to get dragons. But again, if there's not enough of them, they're not super effective. They're good. When you first get them, they're good. But once you get later in the game, they just don't hold. They just aren't quite as good. Also, it depends on the dragon too. Some dragons are just like the silvers and the golds are obviously the best, and the other three, what is it, the copper and bronze, or is there a third one? I think it's just the copper and the bronze. They're okay, but they're definitely not silver and gold. That's for sure. You only had 6. 6 of them should have done okay. Summon Calavacuses. So these guys. And of course, we're running some of the issues, the same issues with the demons too. Died at one hit to almost anything? Really? Okay. Okay, in we go. We got a puzzle to solve. And hopefully this image is correct. Skeleton sharpshooters are good. Yep. Well, the funny thing is that as a lich, the only thing you really need is your general to have the negative energy ability, and that's all you really need. At this point in the game, that's the only thing you need. Unless you're fighting other undead, and then who cares? Because the other undead are usually pretty weak. Although I found vampires to be pretty good, though. Vampires actually did really well. Especially once you get into larger groups of them. They just pretty much destroyed a lot of stuff. Again, this is a puzzle room, so stuff on the floor. Demon blood. Never get enough. Maybe if I had many different choices, you could summon them. Well, yeah. So I ended up with a bunch of them, I think. Okay, so this is the room. Yeah, for me it was basically vampires for doing a lot of for doing melee killing, the skeleton archers for the range killing, and then zombies for being meat shields because they're really good at that.
All this waiting bores me.
Okay, Gimpy needs a. We can't do it.
I stand ready.
Just in case we need Gimpy to have a light over his head so we can proper lighting here. Okay, so this is a dominoes puzzle if you haven't seen these before. You basically put your little stuff in the different squares and hopefully everything works out. Oops.
I crave your commands. On your whim.
Come on.
Let us not hesitate.
Finger's not working today.
My temper.
Finger's not working.
Hey bag of water, stretch your legs. You have been sitting in one spot for far too long.
I'm good. Not all of them on the side. It looks like it. Okay, so now we start. So again, this is the... Yeah. So what did they do wrong here? These are too small. These are too small because it's hard to see what the actual, sometimes what the shapes are or the markings are. In this case, we are looking for that one. No, it's not that one. Again, this is the issue. I know if you hover over them, you get a slightly better image, but it doesn't really help that much. Is it that one? That's not it either. And then they're not always the right orientation? Is that what it is? I think it's this one. But it looks like it's the wrong way. Actually, that's two of the same image. We don't want that one. This is the one we want. No, it's not. I think it's this one, but upside down. Yeah, that looks right. But it's gotta be flipped. That is not the right one. Or is it? It is, but it isn't. The image I'm looking at is these two are both flipped the wrong way. They're in the right position, but they're orientated wrong. But that's not the important part. It's getting this stuff matched up, which is... I think it's that one. So that one matches that one, so we're good. So we need to find another one to match this one. Which one was it? Not you. It's not you. This one? Unfortunately, the image I'm looking at is actually, I think this is the only one that fits, isn't it? No, wait a minute, that's not the right one. It's the one like it's one of these. So I think this is the last one, right? Yeah, I think that's the last one. Yep, it works that way. Okay, so now this one, we need to find another one of those. So it's actually the same symbols with this one. Is that one? No, it's not the right one. It's that one. Ta-da. Okay, so and this one is another one of those, but that symbol? Or is it this one? I don't think it's that one either. I think it's this one. Okay, so those are done. Now we gotta find another one of those to match up here. And we'll flip that, or whoops, flip that around. That is the wrong one, actually, according to the image. Yep, I believe it's this one. Come on. Fingers not cooperating. Okay, so that works. So another one of these. That should be this one, I think. Looks about right. It is. They're even looking in the right direction. So this one is another one. What I call the two-hand symbol. Learned that one last week. So it could be that one or it could be this one. What I'm looking for, I believe, is this one. Okay, and this one is another one of that. Okay, so I don't think it matters on these, does it? Because they're not matching up to anybody else, so this should do it. And we heard the sliding door somewhere. I think it's over here to the right.
I lead, you follow.
Grasp of Devotion. This is a heavy mace. +5 holy mace. When it lands a killing blow, their next spell becomes extended as though using an extend spell feat. I don't have anybody using heavy maces. And more elven notes. You got a diamond. Okay then. So I'll go back to the Heart of Mystery for fun. Save us a little bit of travel time. Okay, so that's 3 out of the 4 are done. Right? Yep. So we just have to do the final veil, and we need to get the pieces for that in the prison.
Onward.
Which we haven't meant to yet. So, dungeon time. Thing is, we have to catch it. I hate having to catch stuff. It's so stupid. Especially when they're so far apart. Okay, so portal's ready to go. So there's core of the riddle. There's the final veil. That's the last one we go to. And then we have to come back and do this one, which is we already have the parts, pieces and parts for. Where's the exit? There we go. And for the record, I've actually never done these puzzles before. This is the first time I've done these puzzles in any run. Why? Because I hate puzzles. I just realized too, we're not buffed. That was a quick 24 hours, wasn't it?
I will see this through.
I think we'll be okay without buffs.
Move out!
We got a dinosaur with us, we'll be fine. Okay, so we can go to is if we want, but we don't want. Actually, can we? I don't know if we can go to is yet. We get to do this puzzle up here, but I don't really want to. The rewards really aren't worth it. Hey, Hobo, welcome back. So this is the prison we're supposed to go to. The question is, can we get there in time? We can teleport over here, but then it's a nice little run up there. I don't know how much longer this has us before it's gone. Guess we'll find out. Oh, actually, corruption's kind of crappy, isn't it?
Hello
It's
everyone.
getting up there.
My name is Veronica and welcome to Gimpy's Twitch channel. If you are enjoying what you are watching, please click the follow button in the lower right corner of the video screen. That way you will be notified by Twitch when Gimpy goes live. You can also find Gimpy on YouTube where he posts previous episodes and highlights of the stream. Just scroll down under the video screen and click the YouTube button in the About section. Then click the subscribe button to follow. That's it. Thanks.
Yep, thank you, and happy Sunday. Or Wednesday, as we like to call it, and it's actually Happy Wednesday. We haven't had any real combat yet, so the ones haven't played a factor, but they will eventually. Because it's Wednesday. Thomas Longer, Commander, the troops from Neurosian have arrived. As planned, we set up a feast. The soldiers are at their tables, laden with food. Rejoiced, fraternized, and raised cups to victory together. Among these soldiers, Captain Harmatan came to his senses and refrained from giving any treasonous orders. Captain Harmatan, it's all true. Captain bows his head. I realized that I was about to commit a great betrayal, and praise Ra, I stopped myself in time. I appreciate that. Having learned of my plans, you didn't give the order to kill me immediately. You granted me a chance to repent. There can be no excuse for my actions. I regret them, and I humbly stand ready to accept your punishment. I knew he'd come to his senses. Harmatan always seemed like an honorable soldier to me. You should spare him. I want to know why. What did you hope to accomplish? Because of Her Majesty, I admit. I've always believed that she is the only one who fit to lead this crusade. Your appointment angered me because I wasn't serving the cause, only her. I served the Queen blindly, against my better judgment and her own wishes. I'll never forget the day I first met her. At that moment, my heart was lost forever. Of course, I didn't dare tell her of my feelings. Instead, I chose the path of servitude. It's why I could only ever accept her at the head of the crusade, but never you. When you give the orders... Why did you give the order to arrest me? Sir Thomas truly knew our troops. Once they sat together at one table as brothers and sisters, I had already lost. Even if I gave the order, no one would have complied, but I already saw the madness of my plan. You know what? I'm evil, and I'm not good or lawful, so you're doomed. I spared your life so I could execute you personally. The captain accepts his death with dignity. He does not resist and collapses at your feet without a sound. A grim decision, but no soldier in your army will question its necessity. Now that the remnants of the mutiny have been dealt with, I don't hesitate to say that you won your troops' absolute loyalty. This council and you personally have achieved the impossible. You have restored our morale and brought unity and order. You have listened to malicious characters and stayed true to your cause, working one step at a time, building a determined and unshakable army, one that can defeat the forces of the Abyss. Because, we have the forces of Abyss, in our army. A few years ago, says Sela, none of the Crusaders could have even imagined that the cause would amass this kind of power. I'm certain that no one will ever dare plot against you, Commander, or even doubt you. Let's put an end to this mutiny and deliver the final blow to the Abyss. Lead us forth, Commander. These idiots. They don't know what they're doing. I mean, he's walking around with red skin, wings, a tail, and horns, and they still follow him around like he's just a normal guy. I wish we could go back to the Abyss. That sucks that they took that away from us. Let's see. No, can't make any more potions. And which more than likely means we're not going to be able to make the scroll I want to make anyway. Right. All persons. Yeah, I want to do another haste scroll, but it's okay. We're good.
You have the blood of a demon in you. A powerful demon, too, since you're skilled in magic. You can share some of your power with me. I will get the demon seed, and you'll get a good time.
You're alright, love. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm actually celibate, me. Took a vow of chastity. I'd show you my chastity belt, but, well, wouldn't want to tempt you.
Wendwag. Okay, then. So now we get to go travel back and see if we can find the prison. Do you have your transmuter golem? Transmuter golem. What, the big gold one? Can we get armor look less like it does now? Transmuter golem. I don't know, where do I find the transmuter golem? Is it up here somewhere, or is it an item? It'll be in your war room, okay. That thing. Do service and may shall and brighten your day. What are you? Blah blah stuff. Can you do anything useful? The creator granted me the ability to place solutions on various items. Okay. To cast illusions on my gear. That's yeah, it's armor. The Doom Guy helmet. So you actually have to have the stuff on you, though, right? In order to make it look something different. How do you give it any look when we don't have everything? Actually, nothing you can remove illusions too. Oh, wait a minute. Not that there. Oops.
You need to get up and step away from the computer. That was really bad.
It was. Oh, that looks better. Now this is the thing he has underneath, so... How do you get rid of the look that it has currently? Make it look like a shirt, maybe? The last thing in your first row up there. That? Oh, so that would do that. Maybe? That doesn't seem right. It's still overlapping the armor. See, these are all robes. See, but these are all, like I said, they're all coming off as robes. Even though they don't say they are. Or maybe the traveler's shirt. Or did I just do this one? There we go. So much better. That's not a horrible look. I mean, it's still coming through the armor, but... How do you stop it from coming through the armor? Oh, wait a minute. You can actually turn this off, can't you? You don't need him to do this. I think you can actually turn this off through this stuff, right? Here. There we go. So shirt off. There we go. So you can actually do it through here. Although the shirt's still coming off. Is it? The shirt didn't actually go away. It's not going anywhere. Gear equipment, clothes color, that's okay. See, it looks like it's... Oh, maybe that's part of the armor. Oh, I think it's the armor. Glasses, equipment. Yeah, but I like the glasses. I know you don't, but I do. See, the shirt actually isn't doing anything. This actually doesn't appear to be turning any bracers off. Oh, there's the gloves. Okay, there we go. So that works. Actually, that's not horrible. Yeah, I know they're different slots, I know. But they're... Basically, I wanted not to show them so we can actually see more of a full armor thing. The problem is you can't zoom out. I can zoom out a little bit, but Gimpy's got the horned helm now. Hag's Demise. You can find a black colored helmet like this too if you wanted to match the armor. Oh, I guess we could try that. I don't have any helmets on me though. It's not a big deal. That's not a bad look. Very demonic-ish. With the wings and the horns. On the cloak, there's some cloak that looks like a coat. That might look cool in place of the one you have now. Looks like a coat? know the one you're talking about. I don't think I have it on me, though.
Mask engaged.
How do you check stuff? There, the one that's unusable. Hold on a second. Okay, so drag this here. And there, the one that's unusable. I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, this one? The White Wind's Cloak? Oh, it's just white. I mean, it's nothing special. It doesn't look that good. Got the flowing sleeves out there. Even has a cut there. Oh, I see. So it's almost like it was tailored to fit him, right? I don't actually like that, though. I just don't like the way that a lot of the items just like bleed through or cut through other stuff anyway. Just the way that the graphics engine works. And again, we don't really care about the cloaks anyway. But this is fun. He looks good. Now, you can't do that with your pet, though, can you? We want to talk about how his tail actually looks pink, either. Why his tail is pink, I don't know. Okay, let's get out of here. We gotta go. We have a dungeon to delve. There wasn't an option to hide cloaks. Didn't notice. Need gear bracers. There is no one to hide your. I wonder why I didn't have a. Why can't you hide cloaks? And of course, as we leave, there's something going on in here. An event. The Hand of Retribution. A follower of the goddess of Milani has arrived in Dresden in secret and committed a murder. His victim was an officer from Galt who had run from the revolution. Next to the body, they found a note that read, "Everyone will pay," and a list of future victims that included several other officers. They deny being involved in anything. Help the vigilante. Look, chaotic. Diplomacy points. Lawful. Screw that. Nope. Devil. Ah, look, Darren's not alive anymore. Ah, sure, diplomacy. The commander's servants meticulously studied the backgrounds of these officers. It turned out that they were guilty of mass killings of revolutionaries. By condemning them publicly, the commander assisted the Milanite in exacting his vengeance and strengthened relations with Galt. Go us. Summon Baylor. See if we can summon more Baylors. It's only one, but can't do it right now. Okay, so You can teleport over. Which is a bit faster way to move this map. So that is still open, but for how much longer? We should be able to teleport here? Sinister Mansion? Oh no, we can only go Camp of the Fairy Bastion. Yep. Get to traveling. Armies, forgot about you guys. Again, sending him up to the demon army, where he belongs. Sending him down to the main army, where he belongs. Nope. So close. He's there. Wrong button. Wow, they move quick. These aren't moving. Neither you guys. Okay, we're all set there. And of course it's a closed portal now. Saw that coming. So now we need to go down to... Oh, we can do the Bladesmith workshop. Because that's a closed portal. That one's open. It's a long way away. Looks like we're going to the workshop. Or not.
It's that time again. Drink some water to keep that brain moist.
Was this combat? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, we're off the mounts anyway.
Let us not hesitate. These magics should be used in other ways.
Let's move already.
I see bugs and stuff. Is this a random encounter?
Head on!
Just in case. Done yet? How come people with angelic aspect don't get wings anymore? That's my real question. Did they used to get that? Hey, if you got buffs, you gotta use them. pony? What's a pony doing here? Multiple ponies. So, oh, is this what's his face? Here's our last hide of the magical creature, which we needed for the storyteller to get our cloak. Ponies. There it is. Unexpected sounds break the menacing, monotonous atmosphere of the world when business-like chatter. The lazy lengths or neighs of ponies, the clatter of instruments, and rising above everything else, a rather expressive voice. Jubilost, a flying ship. How could you ever think of proposing such a thing? Next you'll tell me we should travel by portals or streak across the sky in a winged chariot. And don't look at me like that. I know what you mean. That this cart has experienced things you wouldn't see in your worst nightmare. That it's time to retire and put its wheels up beside the fire, axles creaking as it tells its cart grandchildren stories of its wild youth. That I can afford more reliable transportation than this wreck. To this, I will say that great explorers and discoverers set out on their expeditions on foot, and they didn't complain about it. Yet you can't even survive comfortable ground-based travel in an ordinary cart. And with that, the owner of the expressive voice turns to you and nods as if he didn't expect to see you anyone else. Jubilost Narthropple. I'm just passing through. I wish they would have voiced this. The name is familiar to you. Narthropple is an eccentric gnome scholar from Absalom. Traveler, explorer, popularizer of science, journalist, and author of a dozen books and countless articles. Due to his overly sharp tongue, he's been sentenced to death or exile by no fewer than 3 or 4 nations of Galarian. Every year, new rumors surface of his death at the hands of some offended monarch or other. And for those you don't know, Jubilost here is a character from Pathfinder Kingmaker. Heard about you. You're a scientist and explorer, aren't you? Nenio, absorbed in her scribbling, raises her head at the mention of the name Jubilost Narthropple. The author of the distillation of magical liquids in the field? See, this should have all been voiced. I don't know why it's not. Yes, that's me. I take it the honor of speaking to a fellow scientist. With a fellow scientist and successful rival, a future successful rival, I intend to take your place in the department at the College of Mysteries, on my way to the headmaster's seat naturally. By the way, the blood of mythic demons cannot be distilled by your method, and neither can the slime of an ordinary carnivorous blob. Obviously not. Jubilost doesn't seem offended. On the contrary, he's looking at Nenia with growing interest. My distillation method was developed for distillations carried out on the material plane, or liquids originating on the material plane. Demon blood does not meet these conditions. For extraplanar liquids, I've developed a new method, described in my article in the first issue of National Alchemy in 4817. We've got a whole century before 4817. Yes, of course, that's correct. But the article was scheduled for publication in advance, he says, but he sounds uncertain. To be fair, I do not require data on extraplanar entities for my encyclopedia. Therefore, demons and their blood as such do not interest me. But I've not yet finished the section on cult alchemists, the main focus of their work in potions based on demon blood. To support my thesis, and the average cult alchemist lacks any real knowledge of the subject, I need to make a breakthrough in this field. An approach worthy of a true scientist. I wish I could linger and try to reconstruct my method from memory, but I don't have any time to spare. He sighs with obvious regret. So you're an encyclopedist, and at the same time a practitioner and a field researcher. That's right, I'm Nenio. I just need to clarify a couple of details. I'll figure out the rest on my own. Of course, I'd be happy to be of assistance. Even if nothing comes of it, we could continue this discussion by correspondence. Is this some sort of scientific flirtation or what? It's certainly possible, but let's return to the issue at hand. To what degree should I saturate the blood with the steam during distillation? My previous attempt resulted in an explosion, which suggests the durability of standard distillation apparatus is not without limit. To what degree? Saturate? What? His expression changes drastically. You're using direct distillation? I am. Dry steam distillation is not a viable an option. What absolutely, utterly, inconceivable nonsense. In my second article in National Alchemy, I proved beyond the shadow of a doubt that direct distillation is not suitable for magical liquids, and only a properly isolated steam coil allows us to consider the distillation process effective. He glares at Nenio. In the section of my encyclopedia detailing the use of distillation apparatuses, I completely unravel every argument of your work on the benefits of dry steam distillation. Ha, he folds his arms in indignation. Then his expression shifts to boredom. So, you're interested in distillation, dear colleague. Excellent. Then subscribe to National Alchemy and wait until my article reaches these parts. I'm afraid I'm in a rush and cannot offer you any advice on the subject, sorry. So, where did we leave off, Commander? I heard rumors of your death. He shrugs in an emphatic, dismissive way. These rumors never stop. I'm not a desk jockey, but a field researcher and a cartographer. I spend most of my time on the road, stopping only briefly to finish a paper or give a lecture. Every time the unknown of my mysterious, any time the unknown of new mysterious land swallows me, my detractors jump at the chance to spread rumors or stories of my death. I've been credited with perishing in the depths of the eye of the Abendego, meeting my end at the hands of the whispering tyrant when last well fell, and many far less impressive deaths, such as being drowned by kobolds in a river in a place that's not marked on any map. Hogwash. I do not imagine myself immortal, but so far I've been able to avoid meeting Pharasma. There's still so much to learn about this world. Duvalast's speech seems confident, and there's no reason to doubt his
Saturday
words.
and Sunday, November 19th and 20 are the monthly giveaways for November. A $25 Steam gift card will be given away each day. You have to be a follower of the channel and present to win. Check with Gimpy if you have any questions about the giveaway. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so yet he mentioned the fall of Lastwall as a well-known fact, but you know for certain this nation is alive and well. You just happen to be passing through so deep in the world wound. What's bothering you? Of course, I didn't mean to say this happened by accident. Passing through simply means I do not intend to conduct extensive research or educational work here, just make a few observations here and there. I have one of your books. Would you autograph it for me? An unexpected request, but admittedly a pleasant one. Of course I will, why not? He takes the worn book from you, and his amiable expression suddenly vanishes. Cooking Almanac for the Inner Sphere. A culinary almanac. Of the dozens of articles on practical alchemy, history books, geographical reference books, and brilliant political essays I published, you chose a cookbook? Cookbook. He glares at you, then sighs heavily. Of course, any recognition is good. You want a culinary almanac, so that's what you'll get. Here you go. With best wishes, the author. What's wrong with your cart? Oh, I suppose I should have led with this. Sadly, my cart is stuck, and my assistants, Duvalast cast a peevish look at the three gnomes shuffling awkwardly nearby, as it turns out, are completely incapable of applying the most simple, practical skills in fixing this blasted wagon. I would appreciate your help, Commander. All you need to do is attach the wheel, clear the road, and calm the poor ponies. The whirlwind causes them great stress. How do you know I'm the commander? I haven't introduced myself. He adjusts his glasses. Obviously, it's about my acumen. Surely you didn't expect a renowned scientist to be so ignorant as to not recognize the most significant historical figure of this region and era. You're asking me to fix your cart, me, the commander of the Fifth Crusade and wielder of mythical power. Why not? Perhaps your mythical power allows you to snap your fingers and make a new cart materialize. If not, I would be grateful if you could fix this one. I'll see what I can do. This is wonderful, and don't think me an ungrateful flout. I'll be sure to mention you generously mention your generosity in the article I write about this encounter. I'm going to take some notes, and you may get started on the repairs, Commander. Fix. Now let's call it easy stuff. After 10 minutes of work and a little bit of ingenuity, the wheel slides back in place, none the worse for wear. A thought just occurred to me, Commander, says Jubilos, who barely pays attention to your attempts to repair his cart. What do you think of your place in history? You're a demon spearheading a war against demons. Does this feel right to you? Aren't you afraid of me, then? What manner of question is that? Of course not. A word of advice, if I may. Don't harbor any illusions about your own tremendous significance. To a scientist, you're a research subject in a detail of historical context, with or without mythical powers. Is this an attempt to interview me? Were this an interview, I'd be asking you awkward questions. I have plenty, believe me. He looks at you through his glasses as if he knows your every secret. I could start by asking about the source of the mythical power that made all of Mendev consider you the chosen one of the gods, and then move on to asking, how does it feel to be a hero in one of the greatest scams in modern history? But I'm not doing this. I'm merely satisfying my curiosity. Perhaps my fate has been far from ordinary, but I'm satisfied with the path I've chosen and the person I've become. The way my fate has turned out and the person I was turned into is utter madness. First one. Now for those forced to follow you. Are those forced to follow you happy? Those who depend on you. He adjusts his glasses. Or are you one of those people who goes ahead without bothering to ask the opinions of others? Then again, who am I to lecture on the greatest figures of our time? Be on your way, and Desna will aid you. I'll stand here by the side of the road and take some notes. Calm the ponies. The ponies seem oddly intelligent. You get the uneasy feeling that the ponies are playing along with your attempts to calm them, chuckling to themselves. Still, they obediently stand there where they're supposed to, ready to pull the cart. Wendoaku grimly listened to as Jubilos spoke, can no longer stand it. Hey, pint-sized scholar. Don't you want to ask me anything? I bet you've never met anyone like me. The spider legs on her back rise menacingly. Jubilos gives the huntress a cursory glance, then notes, judging by the telltale attribute, I can conclude with the 80% certainty that you are a mongrel. It's true, I've never met a creature with your particular type of mutation, but that's hardly surprising, given nearly every mongrel is whimsically unique. Still, I am familiar with your kind. I hasten to assure you that your sense of your own uniqueness is unfounded. Look at this stuck-up know-it-all. How's the smugness working out for you? She narrows her eyes. You've got a big mouth, but you're still alive, which means you know a trick or two. What's your secret? How do you save your hide when surrounded by enemies? He shrugs. Mostly through subtle calculations. Sometimes I throw bombs. In exceptional cases, I rely on the help of my friends, or shall we say, well-wishers. I have connections to some truly fascinating contacts, not just on Galarian. Clear the cart. Clear the way for the cart. Your effort are not in vain. The pile of junk blocking the path has been swept aside. Difficulty 28. Skill value 59. That's it. I did what I could. What? Oh yes. Well, I suppose I should be on my way. How unfortunate. I haven't yet satisfied my curiosity. But what can you do? Time waits for no one. I have a feeling there's something you're not telling me, Mr. Narthropple. There are some strange slips in your speech and demeanor. He pauses. I must admit, acting is not one of my talents. I was hoping to casually run into you in a completely natural way, then ask a few questions, but it's tricky to appear natural when this chance encounter takes place in the middle of the world wound and you come from the future. He pauses again for dramatic effect. Yes, exactly as I said. Some of my friends, many many in number, but acting as one, can do the most curious things to time. I humbly asked them for an opportunity to meet the legendary commander of the Fifth Crusade in person. I desperately wanted to take a few notes on such a fateful figure in Galarian's history from my article on the Age of Lost Omens. I hope you're not angry about this small masquerade, and even if you are angry, I'm still satisfied. Eon Swarm. Best of luck, I hope you're blah blah blah. Yeah, we're not gonna kill him. My apologies, but 1,000 more discoveries await me. I can't stand in any one place for too long, but I am glad to have met you. This conversation provided me with much food for thought. Farewell, Commander. Having already turned to his cart, Jubilee suddenly slaps himself on the forehead. I almost forgot. I was asked to give you this. A golden toad. So the golden toad. I'm not exactly sure the reason for the toad. I mean, I know where it's from, but I don't know why they felt the need to give it.
Onward!
Does anybody know the story behind that? I mean, why was that? Why, of all the things that he could have given you, why the toad? I mean, other than it's 10 pounds and it's worth 250 gold. Like an idol, then a decorative figure. Yeah, I know. Anyway, so we were headed up there, but now we're not. We have to go back down. We're headed back down to the blacksmith's, bladesmith's workshop now. Distractions. Another day's gone by, it looks like. Feast of the Sacred Host celebration has successful, and the higher powers sent the strength to their priests and the soldiers who glorified them. All generals +1 level to the heavenly ward for 30 days. We don't really need anymore. Enchanted demons.
Hey Gimpy, have you hydrated lately? If not, you really should.
Tons of stuff. This one. Bribes for the officers, man. Enchanted, no, we don't do that. So, more Baylors it is. Or sorry, more Baylor. This wasn't the... Oh, that's right, because you can't go through there. People to fight, or things to fight. Mickey and Rocket are so excited. We're still buffed, I don't care.
Move out!
Option
I will not falter.
Defeat is not an option.
Oh, wrong person. Oops. Well, he's shaken. Get him, Rocket.
We shall overcome. Do not hold back.
Get him, Bismuth. Or not. Nanio. The only one? Maybe? I'll try. You're supposed to be standing next to Veronica, if possible. Next turn, maybe. Call lightning. This will last for 24 hours. Reduced because we made a saving throw. Okay, Mickey. No. Play a song. Play a song. Sing a song, sorry.
Die!
Only one swing. Boo. Okay, Bob. No. Well, that worked. Because what was it, outflank? Yeah. Where's the initiative? Gimpy did that, and then into nauseated Bob deals that damage. So just a hit. Supposed to call lightning. Whatever. Who else is out here?
Strike as one. Contemplate on your mistakes.
I get a little shaken now, succubus. Bismuth too far. This is more than likely going to be out of range, right? Yep, just out of range.
Attack!
Not really what I meant to do. Go after Bismuth. That's the safe one to go after.
Let's hear you cry. Run them through!
Exploding demons are the best. Well, as long as it's not Gimpy. As long as Gimpy's the one not exploding. Demon armies are approaching. Those guys. They're just going straight down that way, so... should be able to intercept them here, no problem, I think. Actually, no, we want to sit there. Okay, so regulars have arrived. You guys are waiting for your rocks still, which are those guys. Convenient. So yeah, level 11 army with the Balers. So where's any other armies? There we go. So they're going to be coming up that way. And we just have to sit and wait. So they're coming up through here, and I can just wait at the intersection, I guess. Okay. So, Gimpy and friends. Continue on to your walk to the... Oh, we're tired already? Damn it. And no buffs. Hey, Mozart, welcome back. Happy Sunday. There's other mounts.
Together we stand.
What's going on here?
Have Mickey write bismuth? No. It's not necessary. Okay. Buff time. Happy not going to work tomorrow because of paid leave day to you. Whoa. Congratulations, I guess. Hey, that was not all our stuff. Oh, we're in combat now. Why? Something's too close. There they are. Okay, Rocket. Or sorry, yeah, Rocket. Here, extra swing for fun.
Attack.
Oh, no giant rocket. That was an extra swing. Yes, I'm working tomorrow. I'm working right now, technically. It's scary, isn't it?
They'll beg me to stop.
They could be closer. So we did not finish our buffs, so... Question is, can she kill these guys with this? The answer is no, because they made their saving throws. So two... No, actually, there's no double rolls on these, that's why. They are shaking, though. This will saving throw succeeded. Saving throw result 29. Oh. He had to roll a... What, 16? He rolled a 20. Cheating bastards. And Veronica's still casting buffs. Okay, Mickey. Or Gimpy. Sing us a song. Bob? No charge for Bob. Okay, Rocket. You're going to stand right here. Oh, you're not giant size.
We shall overcome.
Double kill. Two of them back here.
I'll rip you apart.
Bismuth. Charge. Oh, look, more of them. Horse is carrying you? No, it's not the horse, it's Rocket. It's Rocket sitting on top of the horse that's carrying us. Let's try this again. Three out of 4 isn't bad, I guess. Where's Rocket going? In real life. He just walked off camera. Okay, Gimpy, go get him. Or her.
Die!
Dumb demons. Okay, now let's finish our buffs.
Our time has come.
This is what we're trying to do before the fight started, so just in case we get anything else in the next 24 hours. It's an absurd amount? I agree, it is absurd. Wasn't quite done. But we need our giant horse. Well, we need our giant fox person riding our giant horse. That's helpful. That's a nice buff. Of course, all the resistances and all the other cool stuff. Oh, it's a level 9 army. Look how special they think they are. So we're just waiting for those guys to get up here. So level 9 versus level 9. Coming right to us, so we don't have to wait or don't have to do anything. Or you just have to sit there and wait. Yes, the buffs last 24 hours. The buffs last 24 hours, so there's plenty of time to get them all cast. See, this is why we do it. So now we don't have to do the buffs, because they're already done.
We will prevail.
Undead? Sneaky unhollowed boat. Oh, boat axe. Oh, we love you so much.
They'll beg me to stop.
Plays this on. Where's he going? He's supposed to be doing this. Than a demon. Lightning Firestorm. There we go. Badly injured, and they also appear to be burning now, too. Okay, Rocket. Start killing stuff. I should go. I actually can go right up here, can't I?
Do not hold back.
Quadruple kill? I mean, granted, some of them were mostly dead, but still. Rocket's a murderer. Stupid undead. And continue on. So it's a new day. Everything's ready for the relic's augmentation. This is the Face Stealer's mask. I don't know what this one does. Summon Baylor, so we got a new Baylor out there. Enchanting the Face Stealer's mask. So cleanse the spirit of Lyricon. And mental perfection +4 allows the wearer to reroll 3 failed saving throws against death effects per day. Some of the Face Stealer's victims. Whenever the wearer of this headband of mental perfection +4 casts a level 9 spell, all enemies at a 30-foot radius must pass a will saving throw, DC 30, or become unable to cast any spells for 1 round.
Hello, Gimpy. It is time to take a break. Go check on the dogs. Your next break is in 2 hours.
3 failed saving throws against death effects per day. Cast a level 9 spell on enemies. Sure, I guess. Necromancer that had arrived in Dresden said that the Face Stealer's relic was still connected to the souls of his victims. He summoned the ghosts and made a pact of service with them. In exchange for the right to torture the spirit of their killer, the spiteful dead swore to serve the relic's owner for all eternity. The whispers will darken the minds of enemies and fill them with terror. Dum dum dum. So, I still have this to do. Enchanted Demon, Slave Trail, Beta the Voice of the Cursed Bard. Well, see, now we have a bardish type character. Interesting to see what this is. These are cultists that we don't really use anymore. Enchanted Demons, these are the Vrox. Calavacuses, though. 5 of them. Sure.
Come on, you pansy. Get back in there and fight.
After this break. So, anyway, I need to get up, stretch my legs, get some water, that kind of thing. I'll be back shortly. Thank you all very much for watching. Enjoy the dog video. Not the one you're watching on the screen right now, a different one.